Okay, Morocco were playing Spain in today's first second round match of the World Cup. It's gone to penalties. It finished 0-0 in extra time and full time, regular time. Morocco have won 3-0 on penalties. Now let's break down the performance because, to be honest, I had it on the background. Spain great in possession for 2/3 of the field. Final third, not good enough. Tactically, Morocco got it right. Teamwork, energy, commitment. The goalkeeper stood on his head. The back line have stood on their heads. Amrabat in midfield has played one of the best defensive midfield performances you were going to see. And not only would he make the tackle, he would then create the get-out pass. That is a hybrid of Claude Makelele, Mascherano, and a bit of Ray Parlour in there. There you go. There's three players from yesteryear that I grew up watching in a performance. Why Spain didn't start with Morata, Sarabia, and Williams on the field at the same time at the beginning of the match is beyond me. Luis Enrique is very resistant to having a plan B, and even when Morata and Williams and even then Sarabia later on were on the field, they still want to pass the ball into the back of the net. And when you've got a team that is well organised, well drilled, each player knows their defensive role, who are happy to give up 60% of the ball and 2/3 of the pitch, going, you can have it in your third, the middle third, have it, do what you want. And when Spain were very lethargic and plodding in possession at times, they're making these nice little passing triangles, but there's not really enough energy behind it. And Morocco, each player, you can think of it like you could draw the pitch into like a chessboard. Kind of, each player has a box that they've got to be in for a period of time. That's your 3 or 4, maybe 5 squares. That's your little zone. Any player or ball, that's your little tackle. That's where you come in. You work as a 2 or a 3 in your little area, your little zone. They did that all game. The centre backs have stood on their head. The goalkeeper Bono's had a fantastic performance, including in the penalty shootout. I think the best player tonight for Spain was Unai Simon, the Bilbao goalkeeper in Spain's goal. He was the best player tonight, in my opinion. He did his job. The players in front of him did not. And a lot of the fault lies with Luis Enrique. Everyone was going after the Costa Rica result. Oh, look, they're going to win now. They're free flowing. They don't need Morata on the field. They scored 7. Look at this. It's fantastic. They were average against Germany and they were poor against Japan in the snippets I've seen of the Japan game. The Germany game, look, they only scored that goal because Morata's on the field. And same with Germany. Again, why come to a tournament with one striker, one strike option, and having 3 or 4 players on the field at the same time who play the same position in the forward third? I don't understand this false player that centre forward striker kind of formation. Man City, I don't know how. It's not a formation I like. I think it's very, if you've got the right defensive structure, and yes, look, Man City proves you can win league titles with it. Obviously, you can. But when you come up against a side that is deliberately set up to have 30-35% of the ball and hit on the counter attack at pace, with very mobile, quick centre forwards and wingers, very quick, automatically this system that Spain has works for 60% of the field. In the final third, it's congested. Every defensive player in their defensive structure knows their job. They don't deviate from the job. And they attack in pods of 3 or 4. They will have a zone, go, right, if the ball gets into this zone, you 4 players go here. If the ball gets in that area, or the players in that area, you 2, 3 or 4 players go here. Amrabat was the fulcrum of that defensive display for Morocco. And he's also got a bit of skill about him as well. And to counter that, instead of Busquets, they should have had Koke on the field. Make it a proper midfield battle between 2 feisty midfielders, because Busquets is not going to get in an arm wrestle with a player like Amrabat. He's not. He's got the passing game and the communication. He does not have the physicality, doesn't have the pace or the mobility to do it. Koke does. Not starting Morata is a head scratcher. And I think Luis Enrique knows he's got his tactics horribly wrong. He's been exposed again. And on the counter-attack, Spain looked vulnerable. And I think Morocco had definitely planned this. This is not like just a rearguard action. This is a planned, structured performance from Morocco. The penalty shootout itself. Apparently, if you are the team attacking where your fan taking penalties towards your fans, don't do it. You'll lose, because Japan did the same thing last night, where they chose the end where their fans were seated, lost. Spain, we'll be the penalty takers when we take the fans are behind the goal for the penalty shootout, lost. That penalty shootout, Spain were absolutely shocking. Sarabia, he had a great chance right at the death to score, and he hit the post. He's hit the post again. The other two penalties, including Busquets, are saved. 3 of the 4 Moroccan penalties have gone in. 1 of them has been saved. And you can't blame Simon, the goalkeeper, for this, but you can have a look at some of the players on the field, not just sticking rigidly to a system that isn't working. And you can look at the coach and go, why didn't you start Morata, Williams and Sarabia from the beginning? Because I don't think the Moroccans would have expected that and weren't set up to deal with it. They were set up to deal with Morata coming on. They adjusted accordingly to Morata coming on. But then when Morata's on the field, they're still trying to pass the ball. They're not doing the ball over the top so Morata can run in. They're not getting the ball out quickly enough to Williams or Sarabia when he was on replacing Williams, to then have Morata making runs in the box. Because Koke didn't play, there's no run in the box from midfield, from deep, to give an option. So Spain tactically beat themselves. Spain beat themselves. Morocco played brilliantly. The teamwork, the willingness to fight for each other, the energy levels, the commitment, the goalkeeper standing on his head, the whole defensive unit standing on their heads. They fully deserve to go through because they worked as a unit. Spain, too many individuals going, well, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. Instead of taking the ball by the horns and going, you know what, I'm actually not going to pass, I'm going to run with this ball. I'm going to talk to another team and go, no, I don't want to pass, I want you to kick it there, I'm going to run there. I'm going to make a run off. No, pass and move little triangles, they're not deviating. Either they're too scared to deviate from Luis Enrique's plans, or they don't know how to. Because they've not been shown another way. And these are brilliant players individually. The clubs they play for play different styles. And I think implementing a Barcelona-esque style on a multitude of different... You're not playing the game to your squad strength. You're playing only to the Barcelona and possibly the Man City players' strengths, which is not your entire squad, which automatically, I think, is causing a problem. I'm not sure how unified that Spain dressing room is. We've seen it in the past where the Madrid players, the Barcelona, the Atletico Madrid, the Basque players, the Villarreal, whatever, they will stay in their little groups and they won't communicate. Now, obviously, more players in the Spain setup are playing outside of Spain, but historically, you would have players who would play for Atletico Madrid not talk to the Real Madrid players and the Barcelona, but they would all stay in their own little bits. The Espanyol and Barcelona won't talk to each other. Sevilla and Betis, they will be at each other's throats. The Athletic Bilbao will not talk to anyone. Then you've got Valencia. It seems to me that there is that feeling about this squad a little bit. That there's that club-country divide and that regional divide, which in Spain is a big thing, maybe simmering a little bit when you have the coach who's come from the Barcelona school of thinking implementing the Barcelona school of thinking on a team which is as diverse tactically, skill-wise as it is. And don't get me wrong, all Spain sides have technical ability. All Spanish club sides are all, even even like clubs like Gijon and Real Vallecano and Mallorca will have that technical ability that they learn from a young age. But they all play a different style, and you bring them together, and we're going to play the Barcelona technical style. We won't have that bite of Atletico Madrid or that passion of Athletic Bilbao with the wide wingers taking players on. We won't have that underdog spirit of Sevilla or Villarreal. We'll just do the Barcelona very antiseptic passing, which worked for 6 years, a decade ago. It doesn't work in international football anymore. It's been exposed. It's defeatable. There's a way to do it. the counter-attack press, where you allow them to have aimless possession for 2/3 of the field, and then you just attack them defensively in that final third. Morocco have done that. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please place your thoughts below. And before we go anywhere, that Costa Rica game is an aberration. It's a blip. It's not what has truly played out in this tournament with Spain. They did not get it right. The Germany game, the Japan game, this game. They have been shown up to actually have a problem. A massive problem. They've been worked out. Their style of play has been worked out for the last decade. 2014 summed up how the Spain style doesn't work anymore. They've had 8 years to come up with a bit more of a hybrid style where they incorporate the other clubs from Spain, other than Barcelona, into their international thinking and go, you know what? We will still play this possession football, but we've got to have other options where we can mix it up. We'll pass it for a little bit, then go for the long ball, the wide ball, get the guy running in behind. They didn't do that. So thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll have some more content for you very, very soon.